Juniour Khumalo is live for us in Barberton and Mpumalanga with more on the build-up to the ANC's birthday celebrations. Juniour, good to speak to you. 112 years that the ANC will be celebrating. Speak to us about some of the conversations that we've heard thus far.
Indeed, it has been a very long weekend for the ANC's NEC as it gathered here in Mbombela, Mpumalanga, where the party's top leadership has been in discussions around diverse topics, including the party's campaign strategy leading up to this year's national and provincial elections. But today we are actually in Barberton, where the ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula was addressing some of the ANC's regions and some of the community members that live here. Amongst the things that he spoke about were some startling admissions around some of the things that have been done by ANC MPs as well as ANC leaders. He spoke about former President Jacob Zuma in particular and how the former party president is now campaigning for a different party. There's been a lot of questions around what is going to happen to Zuma based on his recent stance that he has taken. Mbalula says that the former president has basically expelled himself from the party. He said, how do you campaign for another party while you are still an ANC member? So basically Zuma has been expelled, or he has expelled himself according to Mbalula. He also spoke about how the ANC had defended the former president, and basically he was saying that the former president is ungrateful in his stance that he has taken right now. He said that the former president, when he was going through challenges that include his construction of the fire pool, what he called the fire pool, the ANC MPs went to parliament and basically defended the indefensible. Those were the words that he used. But we can take a listen on to what Mbalula also spoke about when it comes to Zuma and the rape charges that he faced in 2005.
Utatu Zuma simnyamezele grid na matyala wake sampolicha samfake union building akapolicheki tu. Lengxaki zakhe samhlamba. Today uhambe ecelela abantu thetha ngathi sizamphendula but ningamjaha. Niyeke luyadaka umuntu oludala ugcwele yonke indawo. Nimjonge nje.
So, Juniour, obviously those comments from the Secretary-General of the ANC speaking somewhat to what a card potentially that they hold up their sleeve. How are they likely to react to Jacob Zuma and obviously him supporting the new MK party?
I think that was the question that was being asked by a lot of South Africans on how the ANC will react. And finally, the ANC has come out guns blazing against its former president. We heard the Mbalula speaking about the rape allegations that Zuma was facing before he even became president. He says that we sanitized Zuma's image and allowed him to walk into the union buildings without basically holding him to account over the allegations that he was facing. We know that Zuma faced a charge of rape, which was formally announced, I think, on the 6th of December in 2005. And Zuma was actually acquitted, though, in 2006. But Mbalula says that the ANC did not do enough, basically, to hold him accountable over what he has been accused of. We know that South Africa faces a challenge when it comes to gender-based violence. And it was the ANC's Women's League that was surprisingly at the forefront of defending former President Zuma. At the time, he was about to become, he was the deputy president and about to become the ANC president. The ANC has also been vocal when it comes to the former president, saying that despite his moving and supporting Umkhonto Wesizwe, they will not make the birthday celebrations that are coming up tomorrow. We know that the party is turning 112, and there is a January 8th statement that is going to be presented by Ramaphosa on Saturday the 13th. He said that the focus of that statement will not be on former President Jacob Zuma. Even the manifesto launch in February will be on the ANC and what it can still do for the people of South Africa, Hugo.
Juniour, I want to come back to something that the ANC Secretary-General Fikile Mbalula said when he spoke about Jacob Zuma's rape allegations from several years ago. And he talked about how the ANC sanitized Jacob Zuma all the way into office. Now, How do you speak about sanitizing Jacob Zuma and not be implicated in the very same statement? I suppose would be the question for the ANC.
Indeed. The question is right now whether the Mbalula has implicated the ANC in wrongdoing or being complicit in wrongdoing. When it comes to the rape allegation, he also spoke about the fire pole that the former president built in Kandla. He said that the MPs basically of the ANC went to parliament and defended the indefensible. So that is an admission of guilt by the Secretary General Fikile Mbalula today. Yes, he might think that he is coming out guns blazing against the former president and trying to show the residents here who were gathered in this hall that the president himself, they should not follow the former president who is now campaigning for Umkhonto Wesizwe. But in another way, he is actually shooting the ANC on the foot by making such allegations. He also spoke about Ramaphosa, trying to paint an amazing image about Ramaphosa, saying that Ramaphosa is one of the few presidents that actually respect the office of the Secretary General. He says that Ramaphosa has a good relationship with himself and the other top officials. But he went on also to say that when the Phala allegations came to light, Ramaphosa actually wanted to resign at the time. That demonstrates a weak president, some would say, and it's in his eyes, I'm guessing, he was trying to paint Ramaphosa as the kind of leader that South Africans should actually gather behind and rally behind as the party goes into the national and provincial elections, Hugo.
Now let's talk a little bit about Deputy President Paul Mashatile. He mentioned issues around members of the ANC that have quit the party, and the illustration he gave, I think, was around, he gave the analogy of a family and how some family members may be disgruntled and start breaking stuff, if I heard correctly. What is the general messaging to ANC members that have either quit the party or are unhappy with the status quo?
I think the Deputy President was trying to demonstrate that the party members should try and fix things internally. He and as well as the ANC Mpumalanga chairperson Mandla Ndlovu spoke about this, that you can't be a member in good standing or even a retired leader of the ANC who is still a member of the ANC and go out there and campaign for a different party. The analogy of the house, he said that there are some within a family who are actually alcoholics who will break the house internally, and the suggestion seemed like he was speaking about members who are leaving. Those include former President Jacob Zuma, and he was trying to basically tell the congregants at the time, because he was speaking at the church, to say that internally, let's fix things internally as the ANC and not demonstrate the cracks that are within the party, especially in such a crucial year, which is a national and provincial elections are going to take place between May and August, either between May and August, depending on when the president gazettes this. So even the deputy president himself came out guns blazing, despite being in a church service, as well as the ANC Mpumalanga chairperson Mandla Ndlovu, who also cautioned the former president against decampaigning the ANC at such a crucial time. Just to add, Mbalula spoke about how the ANC at this point actually needs a majority. He said that there are parties combining and forming coalitions, the DA, the Action SA, as well as the newly formed Umkhonto Wesizwe. He said that it is actually partnering with the EFF, and when your enemies are partnering against you, as Mbalula called them, that is when you actually need an outright majority. So he said that the expectation from the ANC in Mpumalanga is that they give the ANC about 75%. We know that the ANC in Mpumalanga at the last national elections got 70%. It was a decline, a huge decline from the 78% that they had received in 2014, Hugo.
Juniour Khumalo, I appreciate your time, our politics reporter, coming to us from Barberton in Mpumalanga ahead of the ANC's 112th year anniversary celebrations tomorrow.